Hello, friends. Happy Friday. Hopefully that is working now. Ah, sorry about the late start. Had furnace running, and I don't like to start the show with the furnace running. It's just too much of a blast. Anyway, happy Friday. I hope your weekend is off to a great start. I appreciate you all joining me here today. I, as is tradition, am smoking the Matches Memorial Friday 7 with some Haunted Bookshop, and it is going down well tonight. So I know we got a bunch of people here. Hopefully, I see people saying turn off mute. Hopefully the mute has been turned off. Let me know if you can hear me, please. I think I fixed that problem from earlier. At least my monitors are telling me I fixed it. So let me know if you can hear me. Just give me a thumbs up, please. Let's see who we've got here, and maybe I'm talking to myself, but there's Michael Case, Big Dave, good to see you guys, the Urban Hermit, Patrick Grant, Piper on the 45, Yornik, Doug Owen, hello Doug, Todd Munson, Gary Edminster, thank you Kevin, saying it's good, the sound is good, Kevin Dooling, good to see you, Signal Man Tony from Rhode Island, how you doing Tony? And let's see, Patrick, Bona Piper, thank you Christian, good to see you my friend. I think, and there's Big Dave noticing my Christmas stocking. Thank you, Dave. Yes, I decorated the shop for Christmas. That's my one Christmas decoration. I've actually been putting that up for years. When Christmas is over, it goes in a box, same box that I have my Halloween pumpkin in and all that stuff. So it's the holiday box. And next week we'll get out the big the infamous Christmas mug, and we'll have hopefully some Christmas beer, smoke some Christmas tobacco, and enjoy a chat with our buddy Saint Nick himself. Yes, if all goes well, Santa Claus will be joining us next Friday night. Now, you know this is a really busy time for Mr. Claus, so if something comes up and he can't make it, we'll just have to improvise, and we'll have a great time anyway. But if all goes well and the stars align, we will be talking to Santa next week. So bring your Santa questions. Be prepared to just virtually sit on the big guy's lap. Good to see you too, George. Thank you. Robert Miller, good to see you. Wilmington Piper, you have a holiday box too? Oh, I just have a holiday box for here. Up there, there's many holiday boxes. Scary number of holiday boxes. Yeah. We put out the lights today, so I'll get to that. So there's Doug Owen. I saw earlier that Doug was saying that COP is buying HU tobacco, so they're going to start distributing that. And now he says that Cornell and Deal entered a contract to distribute COP. That doesn't make me very happy. Cornell and Deal needs to spend their time making Haunted Bookshop and distributing that. I'm sorry, I don't like any of the HU or COP tobaccos enough to sacrifice Haunted Bookshop for it. So, but anyway, it's good news for all you fans of those tobaccos for sure. Couch, Santa doesn't like Couch. I can't imagine why. I cannot imagine why. But it's good to have you back, buddy. I hope you're feeling better from your Mexican flu there. And there's Phil Rivera. Hello. Not a Christmas movie. Phil, I know what you're referring to, and I've actually got that queued up and ready to go. So we'll see how the night goes. Let's see. Zachary and Ware. Good to see you, Zachary. Yornik decorates a ficus. Hey, you're decorating something, Yornik. That's not a failure. Sailor, smoking a Northern Briar with Cornell and Deal Old Joe Krantz. Very nice. So during the bit of the furnace mishap, I had started this bowl and actually halfway through it already. Shepherd of the Forest, how you doing there? Do you like Old Joe Krantz Blue Label? Big fan of the channel. Well, thank you, Shepherd. I appreciate you saying that. I can't remember I don't think I've ever had Blue Label, to be honest. I like Old Joe Cranch just fine. I can't remember what the Blue Label is. If it's adding Latakia, I don't like it because I don't like Latakia. If it's taking out the Perique, I probably won't like it because I like the Perique. So, I don't know. I never tried it though. And Brian Dawkins, did I catch you earlier? No, it doesn't matter. Hello. Big Dave wants copious amounts of thick white Christmas blend pipe tobacco smoke. We'll see what we can do, Dave. So we are going to forego the tobacco of the week for the next couple of weeks until we get past the new year because I do have the holiday blends I want to be smoking. I did smoke, I'm not going to lie and say I smoked it every day, but I did smoke multiple bowls of the Bill Bailey's Balkan. I think that's what it was called. Didn't enjoy it, to be honest. It was a little too heavy on the Latakia for me, so that'll go back into the mystery box and we'll pull it out again someday. And who knows, maybe as we get deeper into winter, I'll get back on my Latakia kick and we'll enjoy some of that. Bear Wolf and Miss Kathy, how you guys doing tonight? Breaking in a cob with some English luxury. Nice. Yeah, Doug, I never really got the flavor profile of those blends either. I mean, they're good quality tobacco. It just everything kind of tasted the same to me. But oh, I can only imagine Cornell and Deal trying to distribute in Germany. Yes. The Blue Label is 100% Burley? So it's just a tin of Burley? Sailor, that seems odd. They took out all the Virginia and the Perique. That can't be right. Well, good to have you, Brian. Wilmington Piper received a tin of 2002 McClellan Christmas cheer from a Secret Santa. Well, that's a good thing to happen there, Wilmington Piper. You enjoyed that. Alternatively, Mike could do a Tobacco of the week. No. Thick blue smoke out of a car's tailpipe. There you go. Gold Extra and a Rossi Sierra 8111. Gold Extra. Nice stuff, Shepard. Flint Hill Briars. Got a good piece of advice there. And there's Todd Barstow. Want a bookshop in a medical crest. Okay, so we're hearing that Kevin Doolan's saying Old Joe Krantz does have Virginia, and it's like low country natural burley in Virginia. So it's basically Old Joe Krantz minus the Perique. Everett, I've seen tins of burley run away from you. Don't try to tell me you don't smoke burley. I've also seen pipes run away from Everett, but that's another story altogether. Oh man, it's it's the little things like that, Doug, that'll get you, huh? Different stamps, and yeah. Well, you gotta give them credit for trying, I guess. But just the thought of I mean, knowing all the differences and the regulations and everything, just the thought of trying to distribute in another country to me would seem I wouldn't try to do it, but I'm not in that business. Maybe it's maybe I'm being foolish for saying that, but it just to me seems like it would be a very onerous proposition. Burley Brothers unite indeed, Shepard. Yeah, that's a good point, Phil. You don't have to be Burley only here. I mean, we accept all tobacco tastes, even if you like aromatics. Honest. Patrick Grant, Haunted Bookshop at a 7LE673 KS Roma Lucite. Can't beat that. David Farley is watching from Kansas City tonight. Good to see you, David. And there's my buddy Ochoita. Good thing with Mystery Tobacco was that you did put a dent in all those donuts. Yes, indeed, Ochoita. It was good to get a dent in those cellared blends. I'm going to keep doing it. I just want to take a break to get to enjoy some holiday blends, basically. Because I've got some things that I put away and only smoke during Christmas, and I figure I'd rather focus on them. But I'm still going to give you a chance to choose. I've got 3 blends here. I'll let you pick which one I'll smoke tonight, and I'm not going to let you pick one of them, but we'll get to that. All right, Couch, give Ilva a big pet for me, and try not to sit on me, okay? The seller's saying on the C&D website they claim Mojo Cran's Blue is dark and white cube burley, 100%. I guess Sailor, I've never had it, and I'm not arguing with you. It just seems like an odd move to me that they would take out the Virginia and the Perique. But if they say so, oh man, that sounds like a real mess, Doug. $2 ounces of Haunted Bookshop in Germany is $40. My God. Who knows, Phil? It's, you know what they say about statistics and lies, right? I'm trying to remember, there was a blend that Cornell and Deal had on their website that was just listed wrong. And I used to argue with, it might have been Old Joe Krantz. For a while on their website, they claimed that Old Joe Krantz had more Perique in it or something like that, and what it actually has is more Red Virginia. I can't remember, but it wouldn't be the first time their website was wrong. It also wouldn't be the first time Tobacco Reviews was wrong, so all we can do is go with what we got on the website, I guess. $56 for 2 ounces in Canada, Urban Hermit. Man, I am so happy to live where I live. Metal pipes, huh? There you go, Yornik. Do you like those cool kids? Oh, that's the pre-tax price. Wow, Doug, that's that's incredible. Oh, Jeffrey, thanks for asking. I don't know that I updated you because I intended to make a video and I haven't gotten around to it, but everything was fine. All is clear, and I'm no longer on They've actually put me on the downgraded watch list. That didn't sound right, but basically I'm in really good shape. They don't think the cancer is coming back, and other than annual tests just to make sure, I got nothing to worry about. So thank you for asking. All is very good. I'm very pleased about that. Now if I could just get everything else going as well. Well, Phil, I know they have a limited number of components, but they probably have 10 or 15. I mean, it's not like I don't think you could say all their blends are the same except for toppings and casings. I mean, most of the blends are not topped or cased with anything but distilled water. But they've got at least 3 or 4 different types of Virginia. They've got 5 or 6 different types of Burleys, 2 types of Perique, and they even have multiple types of Cavendish, including their red Cavendish, which is rather unique. So yeah, I don't know. They do okay with what they mix. I just wish they would stop messing around with the limited release stuff and all that, and just stick to their catalog. I think the catalog's just fine. Thank you, Wilmington Piper and Bona Piper. Appreciate that. And Lord Hogarth, thank you. Yeah, I feel very lucky. I got a box in the mail today by surprise. It's always nice to get a surprise. By the way, I'm just finishing up a little bit of Jameson's before I move on to the main event here. Got a box from a friend, and I'm not going to mention who it is because I don't know if he wants me to, and I haven't contacted him, and I just got the thing a few hours ago. So a friend of mine who I've known for years through email, and he was a customer when I was doing pipe repair and all of that, but he stayed in touch. He sent me a very nice package with tobacco and some pipes and a tamper, and the reason was that he is having significant health issues and he can't smoke anymore. And he, not only that, but he's got to go in for surgery in late January, early February, and ask for prayers. He's hoping that helps a bit. So I don't know exactly what the problem is, and it's not my thing to know, but I'm certainly going to be thinking of and praying for him. And I really appreciate that he thought of me in this time. And I feel a bit bad about the whole situation, that he had to give up something he loved, and I in some way benefit from that. But at the same time, I really am humbled by the fact that he thought of me. But yeah, I mean, my health may not be perfect, but there's always somebody that can make you feel better about your own situation, I guess is what I'm trying to say. Kevin Doolin, they're a breeze now. I've been getting them for a long time. Believe me, they're much easier now. Yeah, Choita, it's true. I mean, our prices here have gone up quite a bit over the past couple of years, but it's still great prices compared to most of the world. I agree with you on the menu diversity, Phil. Absolutely. And I've told this story many times, but it was Craig that actually introduced me to Burley, and so I have a soft spot for Craig Tarler and those early Cornell and Deal blends, and You know, I don't like the newer stuff. It's not that I don't like it. I just don't know why it's necessary, I guess. But I'm a crotchety old man. What are you gonna do? Thank you, Patrick. Yeah, I don't want to say who this is, and it's not someone that was a regular. It's not someone you would know. It's someone that I guess you would classify as a lurker. This is them. But yeah, I'd appreciate prayers for my buddy. By the way, somebody asked me recently why I bang the pipe. There's a cork knocker over there. I'm not just banging it on a desk or something. I'm not that dumb. We're already out of Haunted Bookshop. So before we go on to another tobacco, I'm gonna open up my. I should get sponsored by these guys, huh? Brooklyn Brewery Black Chocolate Stout. Black Chocolate Imperial Stout. Good stuff. I am going out tomorrow or Sunday, not sure which, to one of the bigger beer stores here, and I'm going to get some Sweet Baby Jesus, which is my Christmas beer. But I'm going to look, I think it's fruitless. But I used to, oh, that's a mess. I'm going to, let me just pour this out. I'm going to look for a beer that I really enjoyed several Christmases ago that I think was also a chocolate peanut butter stout, which was called Old Leg Humper. Furnace is coming on, just to warn you. The sound will get funny. Nothing I can do about it. So Old Leg Humper was great. It was a really, really good tasting beer. And it had a silly name, but the actual label on the beer was hilarious because it's got a woman's leg, like with, if I remember right, it was like red high heels, very shapely leg. And there's this black lab sitting there staring at her, and the name is Old Leg Humper. And the dog reminded me of my dog George, who was still alive at the time. Anyway, every year at Christmas, I go out looking for Old Leg Humper. I don't know if they still make it or not. I haven't seen it in years. But I don't know why I'm talking about that. Let's see. Most of the old Codger blends are aromatics. This is true. Yes, Lord Hogarth, heart issues are definitely something that'll do that. You know, nicotine is not good for the heart. That's surely true. It's the truth, Bona Piper. You got to be thankful for what you have when you have it. Wilmington Piper, I really do like the Cornell and Deal Burley Flakes. I never remember the numbers, but yeah, I don't like the ones with Latakia. So number 2 is probably one of the ones I like. And I would, if they were available in bulk, I would smoke them all the time. Yeah, Michael, it's that sort of thing, you know. It's But thank you for sharing that with me. I mean, it's in a way, it's you're honored by it, and you get to keep the memory of that person alive with their pipes. But at the same time, if the person is just ill and can't use them, I don't know. I kind of feel a little guilty about it in a sense. But you're probably right about that, Phil. Phil wants to know the percentage on the Imperial. I think it is up there. I think it's actually higher than 8.9. Hang on, I'll check. It's 10%. It's a 10%er. Which after that shot of Jameson should make this a very interesting evening. Actually, I did that last week too. I don't know why I've been doing that. For some reason, when I come down here to set up, I've just decided that I need to have a whiskey. I'm thirsty. What am I supposed to do? Phil likes that pumpkin spice beer, Everett. I don't know. I don't like it. No, it's not. It's not a barley wine, but yeah, certainly with that level. Pig's Butt Porter is a good one from Montana. Good to know, Phil. Phil has never steered me wrong with a beer suggestion, so. There you go, Gary. Never had a pipe and cigar store, so you just went to the drugstore for them. A lot of places like that. Yeah, Doug, I've got this genetic abnormality where I don't get affected by nicotine. So I think, I'm pretty certain that means I'm going to live forever. So that's a good thing. And Everett doesn't get bothered by them, I see him saying, but that's because, Everett, let's be honest, you burned out all your nicotine receptors. Wow, Michael, that is something. Actually, half the pipes were made by his friend's father. That is really something. Name that pipe. Good evening to you. Smoking Bob's Chocolate Flake in a 7LE 320. All is well here. Hope the same to you. You know, Doug, that's a good point. That may well be a curse. Uh, so, now that I've got my black chocolate stout poured, it's time to pick a tobacco. Thank you. Furnace is off. Time to pick a tobacco to enjoy tonight. Again, we're not doing a tobacco of the week. This is just a Christmas blend, and we're going to keep just doing Christmas blends until after New Year, just because I don't want to mix in weirdo stuff. So I got three choices here, but you're not allowed to pick one because the first one, and if you vote for number one, I'm just going to ignore it. The first one is the peppermint mocha blend from Sutliff. Not that I'm against it, but I just don't want to smoke it tonight. If I told you I had some earlier in the day, would you believe me? Yeah, the North Pole peppermint mocha. So that's number one, but don't pick that one. Number two, don't have much of this left, but this is from 2021. My dear friend Couch, who hopefully still has me in his back pocket, sent me a tin of Kendall Cream, and I've really enjoyed this. It's been a holiday blend for me for the past couple of years, and I've got probably 2 more bowls left there. So Kendall Cream is choice number 2. And for number 3, I was hoping to have Black Frigate. There we go. Came up. Cornell and Deal Black Frigate, which is another one that I like to smoke around the holidays. I do have tins of it. I just thought that I had a jar down here, but I must have smoked it during one of my Latakia fits. So I don't have it here, and I didn't feel like running upstairs. So I'm substituting that tonight with this jarred. This is Pelican, And this is from 2013. This was a gift from my buddy Brian Doran, who was kind enough to give this to me at one of the Boswell meetups. And I really enjoy it. It's a very good blend. So I'm substituting that in as a holiday blend tonight, but we may or may not keep it that way. So, do we smoke Pelican, or do we smoke Kendall Cream, or do you be mean and pick the North Pole Peppermint Mint, even though I told you not to? Kendall Cream is 2, Pelican is 3. Couch is voting for 2. I guessed as much, Couch. We got, yeah, Flint Hill. I can hardly believe I bought it either. We're getting a lot of votes for Pelican. I don't think it has Perique in it, Yornik, but honestly, I'm not sure. Couch, looks like you might be the lone vote for Kendall. Oh, there we go. Name That Pipe's coming in with Kendall Cream. I have to say, Phil voted for number. Are you calling Pelican number 7, or are you saying there's 7 votes for Pelican? 9. Okay, he's counting the votes. Okay, we're gonna go with the Pelican. 9-2 is a pretty good majority there. I'm kind of glad that we went with Pelican, because honestly, I only have a couple bowls of this left, and I wanna save it. So, and not that I don't want to share it with you, but it's much harder to concentrate on it when I'm trying to read and talk and everything else. So, all right, so we'll have the Pelican. Now this is a Latakia blend, and now it's from 2013, and I'm pretty certain it's got Syrian in it. And if anybody wants to look it up beyond that, feel free. Hard to get open. But it's good stuff. And again, I'm not a big Latakia guy, but this is one of these blends that kind of reminds me of my old Latakia days when I was a wee lad. Well, I wasn't a wee lad, but I was younger than I am now. If I was a wee lad smoking Latakia, that would probably be weird. Well, we will load up the pipe. I'll tell you what the pipe is in just a moment. It is the 7LE 622 KS. I'm excited about this. I haven't had this in over a year for sure. There we go. Yeah, that's nice. Now, I can't say how much of this is just mellowed with age, but it has just the right amount of Latakia in it, and it's that sort of leathery Latakia. Yeah, nice. Neil Day, yeah, I mean, that's one of the problems with this is I'm really grateful for the chance to try it, but I know I'm never going to get it again. Thank you, Patrick. So Patrick says Pelican is Virginia, Oriental, and Latakia. Everett says he's been smoking McBaron plum cake for the last few days, and Brian Dawkins says that he likes McBaron plum cake. I don't like McBaron plum cake. Sorry. It's the Latakia thing. I really love the Germain's plum cake though, and I've got some tins of that in my cellar. I probably should have pulled one of those out, but I didn't. That's a good Christmas blend. But I'm glad you guys are enjoying your McBaron plum cake. Don't get me wrong. It's just not for me. It's got that McBaron bite to it, and then it's got a lot of key on top of that. And, yeah. Did I see my buddy Ed come? There he is. Armchair Piper. How you doing, Ed? Good to see you. I've been meaning to send you an email, Ed. Hopefully this coming week, maybe you've got some time to get together. And I will follow up with an email. You don't have to answer now. Gary Edminster got a new beer and a large bent basket pipe. Way to go, Gary. No, Wilmington Piper, I haven't tried the Edward G. Robinson blend. I know a lot of folks really enjoy that, and I watched. It was actually out of production, and there was a campaign launched on the Brothers of Briar forum that actually got them to reissue it, which was kind of interesting to watch. But yeah, the Continental Latakia kind of put me off, and I've never bothered to get it. Also, at the time, at least, it was only available in tubs. You couldn't get like a pouch of it or something. So I didn't want to invest in a whatever they are, 14 ounce or so tub if I wouldn't have liked it. Yes, Ed, you did. You were there at Boswell's when Brian gave me the Pelican, so got to share some with you and the other folks there. It's good stuff. Golden Extra and Burley Flake, only McBaron blends that you smoke, says Shepherd of the Forest. Yeah, I like Golden Extra, and actually, funny enough, the box that I was talking about earlier had a tin of Golden Extra in it, so excited about that. I think you're right about the Latakia, Doug. It's the problem with most Latakia blends to me, and this is my palate, everybody's different, but I get a real sharpness from them, a sharp tartness almost, and I don't like it. And I don't remember it being that way. Back when I was smoking a lot of Latakia, it seemed softer and more leathery, more smoky. And now it just seems to be very sharp. Now I'm certain my tastes have changed, so that's part of it, but I also think it might be part of the whole Syrian Cyprian thing. Everett, I don't have the pipes and tobacco in the basement here with me, so I'm certainly not gonna do that today. Okay, Ed, I will try to get an email to you tomorrow, and we can work something out. Let me talk to the missus tonight and see what's going on. Oh, there's stuff going on, boy. So she was going to be here Christmas through New Year. There was not going to be any issue at all, and her parents are going to go to the sister in Virginia, so I said, why don't you go visit them and, spend Christmas with your parents? It'll be fine. No, no, I'm going to spend Christmas with you. And so, like, over the past 2 days, she's decided she's going to be going to Virginia for Christmas. And it's all my plans are up in the air right now. Never had Obsidian, Phil. Um, was he selling it through who does Russ work with? Is it Pipes and Cigars? Or is that a blend you want him to try to recreate? Yeah, Lord Hogarth, there's not much that comes out of McBaron that I enjoy, to be honest. But there's, it's funny, there are some blends that I really like Three Nuns is blended by McBaron, and I like it. Their Burley Flake, I think, is fantastic. So it's not everything, but a lot of it. The HH line is good. Yeah, Brian is a great guy, Neil. Really nice guy and very knowledgeable about tobaccos for sure. Good pipe maker too. Glad to hear it, Ed. Well, maybe I'll bring the jar along with me if we can get together this week. Yes, Everett, and here I am croonerless, but such is life. Well, Phil, they're wide open until you understand that there's going to be things that have to be done before she leaves. So today it was absolutely essential that we put the lights out in front of the house. And I was like, well, you're not going to be here, so why do we have to decorate? I don't care. I don't want to decorate. But no, they had it. So I had to spend an hour in the cold stringing lights across the shrubs. But they look nice. We switched to warm white LEDs this year. We had colored ones the last couple of years, and I never liked them. And my wife didn't like them because it's funny that the way they make them is they put, red, green, blue, yellow, red, green, blue, yellow, and they're these nets that you put over the shrubs. And when you put them up, you wind up with these diagonal lines of color, and it looks really kind of awful. They should have randomized them. And I said, well, I'll just pull out all the bulbs and I'll randomize them myself. But I'm not going to do that. That'd be like several days worth of work. So anyway, we just decided to get the white ones, and they look really nice. The warm white looks good. I don't like the cold white. No, Michael, I can't do that. I do not travel for Christmas. That's my rule. I haven't broken it in 25 years, and I'm not going to start now. Yes, name that pipe. I've had Lane HGL, and I have to admit I like it. Not something I'm going to smoke every day, but it's a nice change of pace blend. Oh, Lord Hogarth, that's funny. That's really funny. That sounds really interesting, Phil. Oh, Shepherd of the Forest. If you've never had Haunted Bookshop and you don't know what to expect, expect an experience. It's one of those blends that you either love or hate, but give it time because it can grow on you as well. People that are sensitive to nicotine usually report that it's high in nicotine. Um, I think it was Padre Piper that smoked a bowl of it and said that he thought he was going to die, which I still laugh about. Um, yeah, it's so I find it to be a very nice balance of good meaty burleys and sweet Virginias, and then it's got a nice perique kick to it. Um, Maybe some other folks can chime in on what Haunted Bookshop is like to them. Absolutely, Ed. If Dr. Bo wants to try the Pelican, I'm all for it. I've got plenty to share. Ronnie Ewing, how you doing, buddy? Good to see you. All is well here. I hope all is well with you. Yeah, there's a lot of syrupy kind of things going on there in the Mac Baren blends for sure, Brian. White Ash Squared, how you doing, buddy? Good to see you. Um, Trying to read Doug's. Oh, okay. Yeah, Doug, I didn't know they blended capstan. That's interesting. So yeah, if they're following the original recipes, they do okay. I mean, they've got good tobacco and they clearly know how to blend. It's just whatever that topping is that they use to excess is horrible. That's a good question, Lord Hogarth. I wonder what the origin of that name is. Okay, Shepard, if you're immune to nicotine, then that's one thing you don't have to worry about with the Haunted Bookshop. Uh, so it's just going to be down to flavor. And if you smoke a lot of burley and you like Perique, I think you're gonna really enjoy it. And what I enjoy most about it is the hunting for the Red Virginia because it's there and it's actually very nice and deeply sweet. But you do have to look for it. But it's a rewarding search. I've heard that story about Herman Lane, Doug. I've heard it, both the version you're saying where it was his wife. Also, it was the girls in the typing pool didn't like the Latakia. It was another way I heard it. Wife seems more likely because why would he care about the girls in the typing pool? Gary has pounds of vanilla custard cellared. Gary, I hope that's a good thing for you. I If I had pounds of vanilla custard cellared, I'd be worried. Haunted Bookshop is like an old friend. I agree, Everett. I agree. It's always there's something comforting about lighting up Haunted Bookshop for me. But when you've been smoking it for as long as I have and as much as I have, and Everett's the same way, it's like a coming home experience. I think anybody that sticks to the same tobacco for a length of time would feel that way about their tobacco. Yeah, Phil, I love Holy Smoking Pipe Padre. In fact, he doesn't know it, but he's one of the primary reasons I'm on YouTube, and I'll explain that as soon as I get caught up here. Haunted Bookshop is like a hug from a mystical homeless man at the library. Mushroom leg, I'm gonna make a t-shirt out of that. You know, Michael, that's actually a big part of it, believe it or not. I do hate putting the dogs in a kennel for Christmas. Gary's not a fan of the haunted bookshop. That's fine, Gary. That's the other crowd. Piper on the 45's all set with old Joe Krantz for the holidays. Sounds good. White Ash is on his break at work. All is well here, buddy. It's great to see you. I'm glad you could stop in. Wilmington Piper likes bookshops haunted or not. So to tell you the Padre Holy Smoking Pipe Padre story, so the reason he's very important to me in terms of my YouTube life is that I used to watch him regularly, and I'd watch Grandpa Cavendish and Matches and, you know, several other folks that were around back then. And in the comments to one of his videos, I said something, I don't remember what, and Grandpa Cavendish replied to that comment. Holy Smoking Pipe Padre didn't, but Grandpa Cavendish did. And it got me chatting with Grandpa Cavendish, Ed. And Ed's a good friend, and I really appreciate him. He encouraged me to make my first video. I never would have even considered doing this if it wasn't for him. And I never would have met him if it wasn't for the comment I made on the Holy Smoking Pipe Padres channel. So it's a little bit of CaneRod history for you there. Big Dave wants me to describe Edgeworth Extra High Grade Ready Rubbed. I don't know if I've had extra high grade, Big Dave. Shepherd of the Forest, that's slanderous. Name that pipe. That seems to be the general consensus that the aromatic blends do not cellar well. The topping fades away. That's good advice, Lord Hogarth. Very good advice. And Doug, I would be thankful for that for sure. And yeah, Grandpa is a great guy, Phil. Absolutely. I'm really looking forward to more videos from him. Ron Hardcrackers just finished dinner. Full but not overstuffed. Perfect. Absolutely perfect, Ron. Great to see you tonight. Ha! Timber Drifter says that the McBaron website said that their name came from wanting to sound Scottish because the Scots were known to be good in business. Interesting. There you go, Ronnie. Haunted Bookshop is like a hug from the past, especially when you're sipping Old Forester. Amen to that. So you've got an old full tin of the Edgeworth, was it ready rubbed? Well, good for you, Big Dave. So I've had, I don't remember, I forget what the name was, Big Dave, and I'm not going to be able to find it now, but There was some you had a couple of extra words in there. I've had Edgeworth Ready Rubbed, and I've had the reincarnation of that Lane put out that I think they stopped making actually, which is a bit of a shame. It was a pretty faithful reproduction, if I recall. The Ready Rubbed was good, and I've had the Edgeworth slices. I actually have some of that my friend Nick sent to me a year or two ago, and they're all good. The Ready Rubbed, I'd say the slices are better than the Ready Rubbed, but at the same time, the Ready Rubbed is good stuff too. Just really good, solid, old style burley blends. Ah, that's cool, Phil. I didn't realize that connection. Yeah, he is a good guy. Oh, Ronnie, that's that. If that pipe could talk, huh? I hope you enjoy it. I like my Irish seconds. Mixture 79 would be a fine holiday blend, Everett, and Lane HGL as well. So, Phil, you're saying that the Wessex Burley slice is what used to be the Edgeworth slice? And I can see that. I can definitely see the similarities. Bear Wolf and Miss Kathy, I'm guessing this comment is coming from Bear Wolf. He says that Haunted Bookshop is great. It's like getting a hug from a big-chested woman. Mushroom Leg is asking, what's my favorite codger blend? That's a tough one to answer, Mushroom Leg, because I'm not actually sure how to define a codger blend in a way. For years I smoked Carter Hall and really enjoyed it. Still do smoke it on occasion now, not as much as I used to. And that clearly is a codger blend. So probably that would be my default answer. I like Mixture 79. Probably not enough to smoke it as much as I smoked Carter Hall. And the other one that I really like is Sir Walter Raleigh. The the plain, not the aromatic. I've never had the aromatic, but that's just a really good clean tobacco. I like that one a lot. And honestly, if I was starting over again in that whole Codger tobacco search, because when I found Carter Hall, it was drugstore tobaccos, and that's what I had. If I had it to do over and I found Sir Walter first, I probably would have settled on that because there's a topping in Carter Hall that just sometimes doesn't agree with me. It's not terrible, and certainly I smoked a lot of it. I mean, that's why I've got all these tubs that I keep tobaccos in. So, yeah, I guess I'd say Carter Hall. And by the way, the new version of it that's made in the Dominican Republic, to my palate, is superior to the original because it's cleaner. It has less of that topping. I know there's a lot of folks that feel the other way about it, but everybody's different. Yeah, that'll happen, Ochoita, the topping fading from Mixture 79. And that is unfortunate because that's really one of the best things about that blend. Lord Hogarth, you're going to have to ask Bear Wolf about that. So Lane's not making the Edgeworth Ready Rub, but Pipes and Cigars makes a match. Thank you, Patrick. Oh, Ronnie, I'm so glad to hear that your wife is doing well. That is fantastic, and we'll keep praying for her, buddy. Furnace is coming on again. So don't complain about the noise. There's nothing I can do about it. You know, I see people talking about the new version versus the old version of Sir Walter. I honestly don't think I've had the new version. So everything I said was about the old version. Prince Albert's a good one too, Couch. I definitely could enjoy, or do enjoy some Prince Albert. Cube cut burley is definitely a fine thing, Michael. Yeah, Phil, I haven't been very happy with any of the match blends. I haven't tried the Ready Rub, but they never really seem to be matches. They just seem to be kind of blends in the same category, but I've never smoked one and said, wow, this is exactly like. This is true, Patrick. I miss those sardine key things, Phil. Do they still have those on Spam? That's the last thing I remember seeing the key opener on. And by the way, I'm going to complain about tuna fish in a minute. Codger Jim, indeed, Flying Dutchman match is no match, yes. Kate's a wise woman, Yernick. It's funny. So we go to, I eat I'm not going to say a lot of tuna fish, but I eat a fair amount of it. It's something easy that I can make, and I can like make tuna salad or just put it on top of a salad or something like that. And I have trouble with getting protein into my diet, so it's great for that. You know, it's healthy fats and protein. So I try to keep cans of tuna on hand at all times. And we go to Costco every couple of weeks and buy some things, and they had this, what is it? I think it's a 12-pack of Star-Kissed tuna. So why not? It's relatively inexpensive, and now I don't have to worry about it for a while, right? So we buy it, and I get it home, and I go to have a can the other day, and I take the plastic off, and I take the can up, and it's got one of these pop-top things on it. That's wrong. You can't make tuna fish with one of these things on it, because when you do this, you bend the lid, and when the lid's bent, you can't squish it down on top of the tuna fish and drain off the liquid. So whoever the engineer is that came up with that idea needs to be taken out back and dealt with harshly. There's my tuna rant for the day. Probably weren't expecting a tuna rant, were you? So pull tabs even on spam, huh, Phil? Yeah. Tramper Scott, good to see you, buddy. Glad you made it. Yeah, I know about the mercury. That's why I said I don't eat a lot of tuna. I probably eat it twice a month, something like that. Hey, Timber Drifter, feel free to use the quote. I don't know that I've ever had smoked oysters in the can in that pipe. Timber Drifter just tuned in for the tuna. I hope so, Big Dave. The last thing I want to do is find a dolphin in my tuna. You know, Lord Hogarth, I've never bought fish at Costco. Actually, I've never bought meat at Costco either. I don't know why. I just never do it. Michael Case is asking tuna water or oil packed. For me, definitely water packed. I don't really understand the oil pack. So Philly, nothing but tuna safe dolphin. That is funny, Phil. Voodoo, how you doing, buddy? Yes, you can tuna piano, but you can't tuna fish. Yes. Well, Phil goes with oil, huh? Oh, Doug, that's fantastic. I'm going to recite that. Doug provided us with a little poem. An oyster met an oyster, and they were oysters too. Two oysters met a quart of milk, and they were oysters too. You know, oyster stew is a wonderful thing. I really do like it. Codger Jim is asking, can one go to Costco for less than $100? It's not easy, Jim, but it can be done. It's funny, when we lived in Atlanta many years ago, so I left Atlanta I got there in 95 and I left in 2000. So during that time, we were in Atlanta and we had a membership at Sam's Club, which was the warehouse place there. And I remember complaining to my wife that every time we went to Sam's Club, we could not leave without spending $30. And it's so funny today to think about that because I don't think I've ever gotten out of Costco or for that matter, a grocery store without spending $30 in the past, I don't know, 10 years. So it's so funny that I was upset about needing to spend $30 at Sam's. Oh, Choita, I know you can make it work, but it's just not as convenient as going around the circle and just pushing the whole thing down. But yeah, you can just pull it part way off and then push it back down and drain it. Yeah, I know. But thank you. Tuna may contain some dolphin, but Flipper was asking for That's dark, Yernick. Sardines are a wonderful thing, and the hot sauce ones or the mustard pack ones I like too. With crackers, yeah, I like those a lot. Beowulf and Miss Kathy. Big Dave, they probably would say sorry, Charlie. Flipper should have fed Bud to a shark. There you go, Gary. There is a fish called dolphin Michael Case, and I believe that's the mahi-mahi, which is called the dolphin, but it's not the mammalian dolphin. And it's quite delicious. Oh, that is cool, Phil. Yes, oyster stew is awesome. Oh, you got allergies, Yornik. Yeah. Oysters are a unique experience. They're like many things in life, they're polarizing. You love them or you hate them. And I used to really love the raw oyster. I see Booted worked in two oyster bars in Boston, shucking around. I used to love to go to raw oyster bars and do a couple of shakes of hot sauce on them and follow it up with a shot of something. And yeah, those were good times and times I don't remember well. Uh, but I actually wound up with a GI thing that makes it really bad for me to eat raw seafood. So at least raw oysters. So I don't do that anymore. Oh, Everett, well, wish Thurman the Wonder Cat a happy Christmas and Merry New Year. I screwed that up. From all of us too. Thurman, if you don't follow Everett on Instagram, you may not know Thurman, but Thurman is a force of nature, isn't he, Everett? Aldi's is interesting, Codger Jim. The other place that I've been going to and I really like is Lidl. Lidle, maybe Liddle. Dolphin fish fights like crazy? Really, Tramper Scott? I didn't know that. Well, now I got another fish I gotta catch. Doug asked, does anyone know who the first human was to venture into eating a raw oyster? Doug, I have two answers to that. One, he was very brave, and two, he was only slightly less brave. Oh, I'm sorry. Number one is he was very hungry. And two is he was only slightly less brave than the first human to drink milk. How did that happen? You got to think that the whole drinking cow milk thing was some sort of a dare or something. Gary Edminster, Lassie, oh no. Two people ate raw oysters and died. Shepherd, wow, not good. Morocco sardines, Phil? I'll keep an eye out for those. Have not been to Union Oyster Bar in Boston, Doug. Last oyster bars I can remember were in New Orleans. So that was a long time ago. Actually, Gary, I don't know who thought it, but they were wrong. Eating a lobster is not a good idea. Patrick says he loves the Oyster Bar in Grand Central, NYC. I wish I could eat them, and I probably can, but I just don't want to take the risk. Staple in the 1890s, says Michael Case. Barrels and barrels of them he's consumed. Wow. Yeah, Yornik, I think I developed lactose intolerance because I was on this autoimmune protocol diet for a while, and I cut out all dairy, and now I just can't drink it, or yeah, I don't want it. Like I've completely lost my taste for cheese. So I don't know if I'm really intolerant. I mean, I don't have violent illness when I drink milk, but it does make me not feel well. It was the walrus and the carpenter went down to the shore to eat oyster. That kind of reminds me of something. Sealing wax and something and cabbages and kings. Oh, Voodoo, what have you done to me? I'm gonna have that stuck in my head all night. I don't know what I'm trying to think of. Somebody help me out. What is the sealing wax and cabbages and kings? I think it might be the Owl and the Pussycat, maybe? Pickled herring, that's an interesting one. We used to, I don't know which ethnic group uh, believed this, but there was this belief that if you ate pickled herring on New Year's Eve, you would have good luck in the new year. So for a while we did that. It never brought us good luck, and I don't like pickled herring either, name that pipe. Doing it wrong likes it when other people eat all the oysters. Well, that's hopefully not too much of a problem for you doing it wrong. Nathaniel Webster ate at the Union Oyster House. That's cool, Voodoo. That's very cool. Oh, that was through the looking glass. Thank you, Voodoo. No, it wasn't Puff the Magic Dragon, Armchair. Alice in Wonderland Through the Looking Glass might be right. I'm not sure if Voodoo was saying that his quote about going down by the sea was from that. I'm not sure about what I'm thinking of. I'll have to look it up later. Salty pickled herring with a shot of ice cold vodka is actually pretty good. Yeah, but to be fair, Yornik, just about anything with a shot of ice cold vodka could be pretty good. Oh, kippers, smoked kippers, yeah. Tomato, paprika, white sauce. Wow, that sounds good, Phil. I do like smoked kippers. Terry Davy, how you doing, Terry? Good to see you. Shepherd of the Forest, can't imagine life without cheese. You know, I probably would have said that a few years ago, Shepherd, but just lost the taste for it. And I realized that most of the time I don't actually taste it. If I'm eating, like we went out to lunch, I took my group out to lunch on yesterday, Thursday, and we got what's the fancy name, right? Charcuterie board, which cheese and meat and crackers. And there was some unusual cheeses on there, and I tasted them just to have the experience of tasting them. And yeah, I enjoy that. But my phone just made a sound it's never made before. But like putting it on a cheeseburger, I don't taste it. So why add the extra calories and the lactose and all that when it's not really doing anything for me? So I'd rather just have a hamburger without it. But a couple years ago, I would have agreed with you that I couldn't imagine not having cheese. I've seen places like that, Michael. When I was a kid in New Jersey, I wasn't living in New Jersey, but we spent our summers in Wildwood. There was a place where boats would come in, and there were just these piles of shells. It was really amazing to see that. Sauerkraut and pork for New Year's, that's a big one too. I was thinking of Eldridge Pipes too when I saw that, Phil. Terry's quoting Chris Kelly there. Kippers for breakfast. Never understood that, Brian. But I have had them. They're quite good. Well, that stinks, Phil. Not paying for the sauce, are you? There's our buddy Poem. How you doing, Poem? Good to see you tonight. Yeah, Doug, I would taste double-aged Irish cheddar. That's kind of my point. Like if you give me a piece of cheddar cheese, yes, I can taste that. But if you're going to put American cheese on a hamburger, I don't taste it. I just taste hamburger. Um, maybe there's a texture thing to it, but I don't know. Flint Hill Briar, I do not know what that means. He wants to go slicker slack with his Vorpal blade. Oh, I do know what that means. Okay. I had to say it out loud to get it. Sure. No. Oh, Wilmington Piper, I'm not going to even say it. But you made me laugh. That's the quote, Big Dave. Thank you. The time has come, the walrus said, to talk of many things, of shoes and ships and sealing wax and cabbagings and kings. What's it from, Big Dave? Is that from The Owl and the Pussycat, or is it from Through the Looking Glass? Monkfish liver. Is that a food, Voodoo? I'm confused. Rice Krispies with crushed Oreos for Christmas breakfast. Man, that sounds good, Troy. Holy cow, we're at 9:30 and I did not even realize that. Well, I started a bit late, so we can go a bit late. If you got something else to do, go on. Welsh rarebit for any time. Terry, I've had it, wanted to try it for a long time when I was a kid because it was, Welsh rabbit is how it was pronounced, and I didn't understand how it could be rabbit and made of cheese. It's good stuff, though. Good stuff. American cheese is not real cheese, says Wilmington Piper. True, true. Indeed, Doug. Yep, yep. I get you, Tramper Scott. I know. But, most of the time when you're getting cheese on something, it's American cheese. Best Alice in Wonderland movie was produced and directed by Jonathan Miller from the 50s. Michael, I don't think I've seen that. I will have to look for that. It's from the 60s, okay. You learn something new every day, Doug. Today it's about walruses. So, I'm sorry to interrupt all this talk of cheese, but we got a couple things we got to talk about. One is I want to remind everybody, and I'm not signing off. I'm going to hang around for a bit longer because I still got a lot of beer to drink. But next Friday, we are going to hopefully have a guest, and that guest is going to be St. Nicholas himself. So I hope you can tune in next Friday for our annual chat with Santa Claus. If the guy's busy, we're hoping he's going to be able to make it. If he can't, we'll improvise and we'll have some fun anyway. So it's going to be a Christmas themed show next week, last Friday before Christmas. So I hope you can join us and think of some good questions for old Saint Nick, because I don't think we've challenged him enough in past years. I think he needs to be tested a bit more. So that's for next Friday. And there was something else really important that I wanted to say that has completely slipped my mind. So I guess we can go back to cheese. Anyway, yes, be sure to tune in next Friday for our interview with Santa Claus. And yeah, so Christmas is right around the corner. Hey, next Friday's the last one before Christmas. Um, Going to watch some Christmas movies this week since, I don't know if I said this, but I'm on vacation. Today was my first day of vacation. So, yay me. So probably going to be watching some Christmas movies. Any suggestions? Any more thoughts on Christmas movies since the last time we've talked? Night, Jeffrey. Have a good evening and a great weekend, buddy. You know, the other thing that happened at lunch on yesterday, was that one of the menu items. This was a fairly foo-foo restaurant. One of the menu items was the appetizers was roasted bone marrow. Ah, I know it's popular in some areas. I know there are people that really like it, but I don't know. As an appetizer, it just didn't seem very appetizing to me. All right, Yornik, Die Hard is not a Christmas movie. I've looked into this. Thank you, Doug. I've looked into this, and I actually have, from the authority himself, some information on this. So, Yornik, this is for you.
Now, please listen very carefully. Die Hard is not a Christmas movie.
So, there you go. You can't dispute that. This man has got to be the foremost authority on that movie. It's clearly wrong. Thank you, Phil Rivera, for pointing that out to me. First Blood, there are Christmas trees in the police station. Thank you, Wilmington Piper. I'm going to put that on my list. Disney's A Christmas Carol. Don't like Disney much ever, but I'll take it under consideration. Beowulf and Miss Kathy, good night. You have a great weekend and a fantastic week ahead, buddy. Gremlins is a Christmas movie, says Tramper Scott. He does have dementia, Lurker Troy, but that was after the fact. Pipe Appeal, saying It's a Wonderful Life, Holiday Inn, and White Christmas. All good classic Christmas movies. Very nice, Pipe Appeal. Home Alone is a Christmas movie, says Timber Drifter. You know what, Timber Drifter? I'll give you that. The Bishop's Wife with Loretta Young. That is playing at one of the local theaters here, Michael. They're playing it on the big screen. So I have to find out what the date is for that. We may actually go see it. Reindeer Game, says Voodoo. Yes, Doug. Alistair Sims' Christmas Carol from '52 is absolutely unbeatable for sure. Yeah, Yornik, just go all the way and watch Hellraiser. Why not? Phil, I haven't seen it yet, but it's on my list. I'm gonna watch it this week for sure. The Mel Gibson movie. Thank you. We were watching Scrooge last night, Michael. I saw somebody else mention Scrooge earlier. Uh, that is a fantastic movie. I I watched that movie primarily for the Carol Kane character, and there's a scene where she hits Bill Murray with a toaster that makes me laugh myself sick every time I see it. It's stupid, it's physical comedy, but there's just something about that scene that I find to be hilariously funny. Happened on Fifth Avenue, 47. Is that the one with Sebastian Cabot, Ron? Bill Rivera says The Birds is a Christmas movie. Sailor's saying Castaway, the first 20 minutes is Christmas theme. Well, I can't argue against it being a Christmas movie then, Sailor, but I don't like Tom Hanks, so I'm not going to watch that one. Piper on the 45, thank you. You have a great weekend, buddy. Planes, Trains, and Automobiles. No, isn't that a Thanksgiving movie? It's a great movie. Either way, it's a great movie. Jingle All the Way, an Arnold movie, if I'm not mistaken. Miracle on 34th Street is the one I was thinking of when I said Sebastian Cabot. Thank you, Brian. That would be interesting to watch, Neil. And yeah, Phil, I mean, Dickens, it's incredible the impact that Dickens has had on our modern approach to Christmas. So prior to Dickens, we didn't do any of the stuff we do now. He sort of defined what Christmas is. You know, that whole Victorian understanding of the holiday. And he was doing it as a social commentary more than a, celebration of the season. So it's kind of ironic. Maybe that's not the best use of the word ironic, but it's interesting that has shaped the way we approach Christmas. Wilmington Piper, I'm not going to watch The Life of Brian as a Christmas movie. Come on. Muppet Christmas Carol with Michael Caine. You can't beat that, Big Dave. Palm, I wasn't suggesting you watch Black Christmas. I'm sorry you watched it twice now, but you should have learned from the first time around. Holiday Inn with Bing Crosby, fantastic movie. Santa Claus versus the Martians. There's a bad classic, Gary. Good choice. All right, Pipe Appeal, thanks for joining us, buddy. You have a great weekend. God bless you, too. Moonstruck happens around Christmas time, says Big Dave. Blair Witch. Oh, Furnace is coming on again. Oh, Planes, Trains, and Automobiles. The scene where the car catches fire behind, is it John Candy that's talking or Steve Martin that's talking at the time? And the plane, I'm sorry, did I say plane? The car just goes up in flames behind him. That's a great movie. Those aren't pillows, yes. The Man Who Invented Christmas. Okay, Neil, I'm going to look for that. That sounds really interesting. The Vacation Christmas movie with Chevy Chase. Yes, that's a great one. Ben-Hur. It's an interesting choice, name that, but Voodoo, I do not understand. Five-hour Stephen King movie called The Stand that's great for the holiday. Poem, I think you're just trying to get me back for Black Christmas. Voodoo, I just got the comment. It's in relation to vacation. Gotcha. Terry, I don't know that I've smoked White Lightning. I don't know. Don't remember. American Christmas Carol starring Henry Winkler. That's what I was thinking, Phil, but then I got the movie connection. Sorry, Voodoo, I'm a little slow tonight. It's not my usual Yingling, as you can see, and, you know, I'm not used to all the flavor. Oh, Flint Hill, that sounds fantastic. Silent Night, Deadly Night. There you go, creator. Bad Santa. Good one, Terry. Oh, I'm certain he's a cannibal eunuch. I'm absolutely certain. You're a very evil man, Everett. Well, folks, this has been fun. I should do the responsible thing and call this to a close so you can all go off and do whatever it is you need to do on this beautiful Friday night. You know, the Waltons Christmas, my mother loved the Waltons and I hated it. And she used to make us watch the Christmas movie every year where the father gets lost and John Boy has to go out and find him. And oh my goodness, she loved that movie. I don't even know if it was a movie. I think it was just a special episode of their series. At any rate, let's draw this to a close. We will be back next week with our chat with Santa Claus. So don't forget and bring your questions for old Saint Nick. I'll be back on Sunday with something or the other, and I will finish up this beautiful black chocolate stout. So until next time, thank you all for joining me. Had a fantastic time. And I look forward to seeing you again real soon. Take care and have a great weekend, guys.
Now, please listen very carefully. Die Hard is not a Christmas movie.